Well, hello everyone. We made it in 20 minutes, not 25. So please continue to eat, but we do want to get this party started. This year marks my 6th year as president of Northeast Community College. And every year it just gets better and better. And I am so proud to stand up here today and get to speak with you and share some really exciting news and welcome our students to the stage. Northeast is where we move onward and upward, where every success is worth celebrating. And today we have so much to celebrate. So I'm going to take a little executive privilege and read to you some very exciting news. On Wednesday, it was announced that Northeast Community College has been named a semifinalist for the 2027 Aspen Prize for Community College Excellence. Yeah, it's pretty exciting. Thank you. For those of you that are not familiar with this prize, I just want to take a moment to describe this milestone and how it represents the strength of Northeast Community College. Being named an Aspen Prize semifinalist places Northeast among the top 25 community colleges from more than 1,000 institutions nationwide based on our outcomes data and our college-wide practices. This recognition follows a rigorous review of our application data and a leadership interview that was conducted in February as part of the Aspen's Top 200 review process. The Aspen Prize is highly selective and nationally competitive. Moving forward in the process signals that Northeast stands out, not only for our student outcomes, both during college and post-completion, but for the practices, the partnerships, and most importantly, the people who make these outcomes possible. As part of this process, Aspen compares Northeast outcomes with those of other applicants in the national averages. The results show that Northeast excels among the best in the nation in many areas, including first, living our access mission. Northeast serves a large proportion of part-time students and students over age 25, underscoring our role as a vital access point for working adults and non-traditional learners, who many of them are in this room today as scholarship recipients. Our strong emphasis on vocational and technical programs reflects deep alignment with workforce and regional needs. We have strong early student momentum. That means first to second year retention rates are consistently above applicant and national averages. Our full-time students are also earning credits that compare very favorably with peer institutions. That means the amount of credits that they take that first year. This is evidence that our students get off to the right start. The completion rate exceeds our peers. 3- and 4-year graduation rates for all students, including low-income students, are higher than applicant and national averages. These outcomes reflect the collective impact of our faculty, our advising, our student support, and the program design across the college. We also have impressive outcomes for students that move on to their bachelor's degrees. Northeast transfer students complete bachelor's degrees within 6 and 8 years at rates that match or exceed both the applicants and the national averages. Career relevant results. 5 years after completion, median earnings for Northeast graduates exceed the local living wage for one adult. This is powerful evidence that our programs are translating into real economic gains for students and families. And finally, it's about sustained improvement over time. Aspen's composite improvement score shows positive momentum over the past 5 years across retention, graduation, transfer, and bachelor's completion measures, reflecting consistent institutional progress rather than one-time gains. Aspen will announce the 10 finalists later this summer, but regardless of that final outcome, this recognition reflects the extraordinary work happening at the college every day and our shared commitment to students and the region that we serve. I'm so inspired by our students, our faculty, and our staff, and of course our community members who make this college and our region such a vibrant and impactful place. And we want to say thank you right now. And so first, to our scholarship donors and their representatives. Because of you, students are able to pursue their dreams and make lasting impacts in our communities. From the bottom of our hearts, truly, from every piece of each of us, thank you so much for your unwavering commitment to changing lives. If you would please, let's give these folks a round of applause. Since our last scholarship luncheon, we have had 7 new scholarships have been established. We'd like to give special thanks to the donors and their representatives of the following scholarships: the Jerry L. Kuhn Memorial Scholarship, the Janie Long Witzel Memorial Scholarship, the Jim Cantor Annual Scholarship, and the Barbara K. Cantor Annual Scholarship, the Missouri River Historical Development Scholarship, the Nebraska Society of CPAs Annual Scholarship, and then I'd like to give some recognition to my husband, Doug Barrett, with the Barrett Family Scholarship. So please join me in giving a round of applause to these great folks. Scholarship recipients, now my thanks to you and my congratulations on receiving this well-deserved support for the 25-26 academic year. You've shown determination and passion, and we are so proud to be part of your journey. And for many of you, the excitement doesn't stop there. Quite a few of you will go to become alumni in just a few days, which is an incredible milestone. I would ask all the students to please stand up so we can give you a round of applause. So I am going to read quite a list of names. So we don't get to recognize and thank our Board of Governors and our Foundation Board on very many occasions. So yes, I'm going to read all their names. And so I'm going to ask you to hold your applause to the end. But I do know there's some of these board members in the House, so if you would please stand. So our Board of Governors, these are our elected officials from our 20 county service area. And so we have Del Ames from Neely. We have Steve Anderson from Concord, Diane Davies from Pilger, Donovan Ellis from Pierce, Terry Nelson from West Point, Dirk Peterson from Norfolk, Julie Robinson from Norfolk, Jeff Shear from Beamer, Nicole Saladchek from O'Neill, Carol Sybil from O'Neill, and Pat Wosek from South Sioux City. Del Ames from Neely and Donovan Ellis from Pierce have to stay standing because they're also members of our Foundation Board of Directors. We also have Dr. Robert Cox from Norfolk, Brian Chapman from Battle Creek, Matt Dresden from Hardington, E. Clark Gottschall from Atkinson, Paula Havronik from O'Neill, Matt Hazing from Norfolk, Mitch Hyde from Norfolk, Justine Knapp from Norfolk, John Kozra from O'Neill, Arlen Keene from South Sioux City, Roy Miller from Oakland, Lisa Piper from Norfolk, Jean Regal from Madison, Juan Sandoval from Norfolk, Courtney Schmidt from Madison, Brian Schwartz from Norfolk, Amy Shane from O'Neill, Dr. G. Tom Thurber from Norfolk, William Tilkey from Atkinson, and Mark Zimmerer from Norfolk. Let's give them a round of applause. I also want to give a shout out to the incredible development staff that really made this happen. And so, yeah, you all have to stand up too. Dr. Tracy Cruzy, Vice President of Development and External Relations and Executive Director of the Foundation, and her staff, David Boshin, Holly Quinn, Jasmine Gaydon, Mason Zimmer, Abby Shademan, Susan Green, Jerry Parks, Natalie Kent, Sadie Ron, and we also have Bobby Frost, Taylor Peterson, Mindy Haney, and Allison Lambert. Thank you all very much. A few of those are our fabulous interns, and so we love having them on the team, helping us make this a great event. All right, now it's time for our student speakers. This is really the greatest part of this event. We have the honor of celebrating these inspiring journeys of 4 remarkable students and their bright futures that they are actively building now. Each story shared today reflects perseverance, determination, and the courage it takes to pursue a dream through education. This is also a moment of gratitude for the generosity and continued commitment of our donors. Your investment goes far beyond financial support. It represents a belief in these students, their potential, and the transformative power of education to change lives. Every recipient here brings a story all their own, and today we are privileged to share a small but powerful part of those journeys. And we begin with Alexis Staskew Reiser, better known as Cece, you come on up, is a first-year utility line student from Wayne. Cece brings resilience. All right, let's give her a hand. I get to say a little bit more about you before I turn this over. She brings this passion and this excitement. This isn't the first time Cece has spoke. She also spoke at the Nebraska Open and did an outstanding job of telling her story at the annual NPPD Nebraska Open banquet. So we asked her to speak again today. Thanks to this scholarship and additional support beyond the foundation, she's able to pursue her goals debt-free. So we're going to turn the mic over to Alexis.
Well, as she's already said, my name is Alexis Reiser, and I am more commonly known as Cece. I got this nickname from my older sister, who couldn't say she was getting a new baby sister. So it just came out, I'm getting a new baby Cece. I'm currently going to Northeast Community College for utility line. With this being said, I was born in Murrells Inlet, South Carolina, and in 2015, my dad packed us all up and moved us to Wayne. In 2009, I did lose my mother to a god-awful car accident, but this was not the end of it for our family. Shortly after my mother had passed, my older brother was diagnosed with leukemia. This was a huge turn for us. My brother and I may have our differences, but he is part of why I am here today. Growing up, we spent the majority of our time at a friend's house because my dad was always in the hospital with my older brother. My brother pushed through this all and is now cancer-free and has been for multiple years. He currently is a systems administrator at Northeast Power. My entire life, it's just been my dad raising his own 3 kids. I've learned how to do most things on my own, but he has taught me how to do multiple things like changing my oil and learning how to tie a hook onto a fishing rod. I think it's safe to say my dad is definitely my biggest supporter and my best friend. He's shown up to all of my sporting events and all of my FFA banquets, and he's currently here right now. And he's never not been there to show me support. During high school, I kept myself busy. I played 3 years of volleyball, I ran track for 1, and I wrestled for 2. During all of this, I was in FFA. FFA kind of just became my home. I completed in all sorts of events, and I went to state for nursery and landscape. FFA made me realize I didn't want to sit behind a desk for the rest of my life, and I knew I wanted to do something hands-on. And I loved the community service events for that. I have volunteered at multiple things like Carol Craft Show, meal packing, and Pumpkin and Pals. I was definitely sad to have to let FFA go, but I look forward to all the community involvement. At the beginning of my senior year, I wasn't sure what I wanted to go to college for. I looked into HVAC, plumbing, mechanics, and electrical. After a few months, I decided on electrical. Then we had to write our senior research paper on any topic we wanted, so I chose the injuries in the electrical trades. As we began writing, we went to the Wayne State College to look for books. I couldn't find a single book that was in English or that would work, and every book I found was in Turkish or they were all electrical code. With the amazing help of my older brother, he asked his manager, Matt Sorensen at Northeast Power, if I could interview him as a source for my paper. This interview ended up being a job shadow. I rode around with the Northeast Power foreman for the day and then had lunch with them and the manager. Once we got back to the shop, Matt had asked me to be an intern for the summer of 2025. I said yes and changed my major from electrician to utility line. There really wasn't an aha moment before making the program switch. Matt just brought it up and I went with it. Shortly after, I got an email from Northeast Community College saying I was on the wait list for the utility line program. I wasn't sure if I was even going to be able to go to college this year because of how far back I was on the wait list. At one point, I was behind 34 people. May had rolled around and I was at graduation practice when I got a phone call from Northeast saying I had finally made it into the program. Northeast has been fun. During these 2 semesters, we've learned a lot and taken a lot of notes. My 3 teachers have taught me many things that I now get to use in my internship over the summer. We've learned how to set poles, different types of wire and their sizes, and what electricity is and how it works. One thing I enjoyed was climbing the 65-foot H structures. It is definitely something challenging. They also did a power line demonstration towards the middle of first semester and showed us that rubber gloves are a huge importance of our daily lives now. The teachers are good with all the students and they understand that this isn't an easy program. This summer, I was an intern at Northeast Power, and with that being said, if I don't have class, I'm probably back at work. For my internship between my first and second year of college, I'll be working for Northeast Power once again. Lastly, I would like to say thank you for all of the donations for this scholarship. Scholarships help so many young kids who want to go to college go debt-free, and I'm safe to say that I am one of them. I've received 3 different scholarships and a grant: the Nebraska Open Scholarship, Wayne Education Association Scholarship, Sherry Votek Family Scholarship, and the Pell Grant. These scholarships help me go completely debt-free, and all I worry about is my education and my grades. This would not be possible without any of you, so thank you once again.
We're going to give that to your dad.
Sure. Thank you.
Cece, that was awesome. And we are so excited you're part of the utility line program, and we look forward to seeing your continued success, because hopefully you've got that job once you graduate, right, up here in Northeast Nebraska. So speaking of utility line, just a little bit of fun. Our utility line students, we had 10 students that competed in the utility line rodeo program in Mitchell, South Dakota just a few weeks ago. We've got at least one in the house. They swept the championships, right? They won the individual rounds, they won the entire team rounds, and we haven't participated for about 5 years. So way to go, Mr. Korth. Yes, it was awesome. So let's give Cece and the whole program another round of applause. As we heard from Cece, scholarships empower our students to keep reaching higher, not only for their own futures, but for their families and the communities that we serve. We are so proud to share that the total dollars awarded in scholarships at Northeast continues to grow each year, reflecting both impact and momentum. For the 25-26 academic year, the average scholarship award increased from $1,251 to $1,639. Scholarship support rose from $749,370 to more than $1.14 million. This progress truly reflects our shared commitment onward and upward, Northeast. When it comes to education, we believe students should never have to compromise quality for convenience or cost. At Northeast, we remain dedicated to providing an affordable, high-quality education that's accessible, supportive, and life-changing for each of our students. Our next speaker is Blake Nunn, and he shares how life-changing education truly can be. Blake is from Geneva. He's a second-year TRIO student majoring in secondary education. Blake shares a powerful story about overcoming early academic struggles, finding his strengths as a hands-on learner, and discovering his calling, which we're so excited about, to be a skilled and technical sciences teacher. His experiences taught him the importance of advocacy, belonging, and having educators who truly see their students. Blake is a recipient of the Floyd Cyrus Murphy Memorial Scholarship and the Paul R. Rourke Memorial Scholarship, which both have allowed him to focus on learning leadership and service. His journey reminds us how belief, support, and opportunity can change a life and inspire future educators. Please welcome Blake Nunn.
My name is Blake Nunn, and I am from Geneva, Nebraska. I'm currently a second-year student at Northeast Community College, majoring in secondary education with the goal of becoming a skilled and technical science teacher. My journey to Northeast really started with my experience in school and the people who helped me along the way. When it came time to choosing a college, I originally planned to go to Wayne State. My shop teacher told me that only a couple schools in Nebraska offered my degree, and that was Wayne State and UNL. But he also encouraged me to take a look at Northeast first if I planned to go to Wayne State. I visited both Wayne State and Northeast, and when I stepped onto Northeast campus, something just felt different. The atmosphere, the people, the way I was treated, it made me feel like I belonged, and it felt like home. From that moment on, I knew Northeast was the right place for me. Even today, I still feel the same sense of belonging. In fact, I've joked to a faculty member, I wish Northeast was a 4-year school so I could stay here all 4 years. Learning in the classroom sometimes was a struggle for me. Things just didn't click with me always. And I decided I wanted to teach secondary education. From when I was in high school, I would always go to the resource room during my free time to work on homework. I was the kid that just needed a little extra help so I could get homework done. After I finished, instead of just sitting around doing nothing, I'd help the other kids on their math, science, English, or just any homework they had to help out the resource teachers. Through this, I noticed that I enjoyed helping kids, and it made me feel like I was making a difference in their life. And from then on, I made the decision I wanted to be a teacher. I also discovered my passion for shop classes during high school. I started taking shop in junior high, and I immediately felt like I'd found something that clicked. The trades have always been a part of my life. Growing up on a family farm, I was constantly involved with farm work, working on machinery, construction, woodworking, and just small around-the-house projects. I realized pretty quick that I am a hands-on learner. I learn best by doing, by building, by working with materials, not just sitting in a classroom listening to a lecture. But my journey always hasn't been easy. Around 4th grade, I started struggling in school. Things that seemed to come naturally to other students just didn't make sense to me, no matter how hard I tried. My mom fought to get me tested to see what my problem was, hoping to find answers. They didn't even test me. My mom was simply told he won't qualify for any help. They told her that I just wasn't applying myself, that I needed to try harder. So that is what I believed. I just wasn't trying hard enough. And I kept struggling. There were nights where me and my mom would sit at the kitchen table for hours doing homework, and I would end up in tears because I didn't understand the material. No matter how long we sat there, it just felt like I couldn't get it. It was frustrating, exhausting, and honestly made me start to doubt myself. I started to wonder if I'd ever graduate from high school, let alone go to college. By 6th grade, my mom decided to push again, but this time she wasn't alone. I had a teacher who truly saw me. My 6th grade English teacher, Haley Steiner, noticed my struggles and chose not to ignore them. She stepped into my corner. Before I was ever tested, she was already helping me succeed. She would take time out of her day, work with me one-on-one. She broke things down in a way I could understand. She would cut up my tests and give them to me question by question so I could only focus on one at a time. She would sit with me through homework and talk through every problem with me until it clicked. But more than that, she believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. She advocated for me, stood beside me and my mom, and pushed for another evaluation. This time, the results were different. This time, they proved that I needed some help. For the first time, I got the support I needed. That moment changed everything. But even then, it still wasn't easy. Being pulled out of the class and labeled as a resource student made me stand out, not always in a good way. There are times where other kids would make comments or make fun of me. It made me feel like I was less capable. As a middle school and high school student, that sticks with you. It made me feel embarrassed at times, and there are moments when I wish I could just be normal like everyone else. But looking back now, I realized getting the help didn't make me weaker, it made me stronger. It gave me the tools I needed and it showed me that everyone learns differently, and that's okay. Those tools that worked back then for me, I'm still using today. I went from a student who wasn't sure if I'd even graduate high school to standing here today, just weeks from graduating college, sharing my story with all of you. Those experiences were a big part of why I wanted to become a teacher. I want to be the teacher who notices when something isn't right, the one who doesn't look the other way. I want to be the teacher who steps into a student's corner, who advocates for them, and who refuses to let them feel invisible. I also want to be the kind of teacher who creates a classroom where differences are respected, not made fun of, where no student feels embarrassed for getting the help they need. I want to create a classroom where students feel safe asking questions, where struggling isn't something to be ashamed of, and where every student knows that someone believes in them, even on the days they don't believe in themselves. During my time at Northeast, I've learned how to advocate for myself. I've learned that asking for help is not a weakness, it's a strength. I've learned to reach out to instructors, to use the resources available to me, and to take ownership in my education in a way I never had before. Northeast has provided me with so many of those opportunities through TRIO, disability services, tutoring, and a school full of faculty and staff who wants to see every student succeed. I found support systems that have helped me grow just not academically, but personally. Another major part of my journey has been the impact of scholarships. I've been fortunate to receive the Floyd Cyrus Murphy Scholarship and the Paul R. Rourke Memorial Scholarship, and I'm incredibly grateful for both of those opportunities. Because of these scholarships, I haven't had to worry much about the financial burden of college. Instead, I've been able to focus on on my education, my grades, and my future. These scholarships have allowed me to give back. This past year, I have volunteered as a wrestling coach at Norfolk Catholic. I'm also currently volunteering as a junior high track coach. I also serve as the president of the Student Education Association. These experiences have shaped me as a leader and as a future educator, and I wouldn't have been able to take advantage of them if it wasn't without the support of the scholarship donors. So those who have contributed to these scholarships, thank you. Your generosity is making a real difference, not just in my life, but the lives of many students. Thank you for my 6th grade teacher for seeing me and helping me get through. Thank you to my high school shop teacher for showing me my passion. And thank you to my parents for teaching me how to work hard and advocate for myself. After my time at Northeast, I plan to transfer to Wayne State to further my education, to hopefully graduate one day with a degree in skilled and technical science education and a subject endorsement in both work-based learning and coaching. After college, I would like to move back around my hometown and obtain a job teaching skilled and technical science courses to grades 7 through 12. I'd also like to get into coaching with the goal of coaching both football and wrestling. I know that I'm going to make a great impact on this world, just as those scholarship donors have made in my world. I choose to see all humans and understand that we may be different in how we learn, how we handle adversity, and how we advocate not only for ourselves, but for others. I know that one small gesture can make a big impact. I also know that part of Northeast will always have a special place in my heart. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you, Blake, for sharing your inspiring journey of perseverance, advocacy, and your commitment to becoming a teacher that every student deserves. Also, congratulations on your recent honor as Trio Student of the Month. So, next, our next speaker is truly part of something special that we have here at Northeast Community College, the inaugural Aspire Student Leadership Program through the Community College Alliance for Agriculture Advancement. It's a mouthful. We call it C2A3. C2A3 is a national network of 2-year colleges dedicated to strengthening agriculture education through collaboration, applied research, and workforce development. It is headquartered here at Northeast, thanks to Dr. Tracy Carusi. Through its membership, Northeast participates in C2A3-led initiatives that enhance student learning beyond the classroom, including the Aspire Student Leadership Program. This program provides Northeast agriculture students with structured leadership development, mentorship from industry professionals, community-based projects, and access to national experiences such as the USDA Agriculture Outlook Forum held in Washington, D.C. C2A3 also supports our Northeast faculty and students by offering shared curricular resources, professional development, applied research opportunities, and connections to USDA and industry partners, helping ensure that Northeast agriculture programs remain relevant, innovative, and workforce aligned. Kaylee Mangelson of Norfolk will share more about how C2A3 has impacted her Northeast journey as an animal science student, and how the Elmer and Eunice Mole Scholarship and the Emmerich Memorial COE Cattle Company Scholarship have allowed her to pursue another degree from Northeast. Kaylee, why don't you come on up to the stage as we give you a round of applause. Make sure you get the right script.
Thank you for the introduction. My name is Callie Mangelson, and like she said, I am studying animal science at Northeast and will graduate very shortly at the end of this semester. I'm from Norfolk and graduated from Norfolk Senior High School. I chose to attend Northeast Community College for numerous reasons. First, I have a family connection with my mother attending the nursing program. Second was the ability for me to be close to my family as I have little siblings and to never miss out on their activities. But the main factor that pushed me into choosing Northeast was the affordability that is influenced by the scholarships and foundations offered. I'm not your typical agriculture student. I haven't lived on a farm my whole life with plans to return to the operation when I obtain my degree. I was raised by a single mother who has been balancing raising 3 children, working a full-time healthcare job, and never missing out on our events. I spent most of my summers on the back of a horse and helping in hay fields, but it was always for extended family. Even yet, I found a passion and love for agriculture. Because of this background, I was brought up with the mindset to work hard and follow your dreams along the way. Now, I would like to pause and thank each and every donor that offers monetary support for us students. Because of your generosity, students like myself are able to take advantage of opportunities offered during our time here, but also just the baseline of being able to attend college without the financial stressor that many of us come in with. During my time at Northeast, not only have I been able to build lifelong friendships, but I have also been able to build genuine relationships with my instructors that I feel I would have missed out on had I attended a larger school or university. Walking into my experience here, I thought I would just be taking classes and getting a degree, but it has been so much more than that. During April of my first year, I was given the opportunity to travel with the agriculture department to Canyon, Texas to compete at NACTA. For those of you not familiar, NACTA is an agriculture-based competition for 4-year and 2-year colleges where we compete in various categories to place individually, as a team, and as a college. Last year, I was a part of a 2nd place agriculture communications team and a 3rd place agriculture education team where I also submitted my portfolio. Last summer, I interned at Bonner Performance Horses south of Norfolk. Josie Bonner hired me to clean stalls and take care of night chores as her clientele grew and she needed to focus on the shows while also having the labor to keep the barn under control while she was gone, or at least kind of under control. Moving into my 2nd year, I was a part of the inaugural C2A3 student leadership program. Thank you for explaining that so I didn't mess it up. C2A3, like she said, stands for Community College Alliance for Advancement in Agriculture. Through this program, I put on an equine dentistry seminar hosted at the Ackley Family Farm on campus that allowed community members from Norfolk FFA, including my little sister, to learn about horse dentistry and the importance of horse dental maintenance. Little did I know the opportunity and experience that this program and that project would present me with. Through the program, I was able to travel once again to Wisconsin in September, where I began networking with others in the program, but I also learned about industries within agriculture that I never knew about, mainly ginseng. And I'm sure some of you have zero clue what in the world I just said or what that is, and honestly, neither did I. I was really confused when that came up. But I believe that just goes to show that stepping out of your comfort zone is always a good risk to take because you may not know what you will learn or how you will grow. The Aspire program then led me to what I believe will not only be one of my college highlights, but professional career highlights. In February, I traveled to the nation's capital to attend the Agriculture Outlook Forum, explore the capital, and share about my project and something I'm so passionate about. I had the honor of presenting my project to USDA Rural Development and members of the NRCS in the Williamsburg room in the Witten building of the USDA. And then, moving on to this past week, I was able to once again attend NACTA. This time was in Normal, Illinois. I presented a poster covering my Aspire project in equine dentistry, took part of the Quiz Bowl team, agriculture business team, agriculture education team, and submitted my portfolio once again. The agriculture business team came home champions for the 7th year in a row. Me and one of my teammates tied for 4th individually, and then the portfolio team took home reserve champions. Due to the great experience I've had with Northeast and the guidance I've had along the way, I've been able to not only finish this degree with confidence, but I've also now been accepted into the pre-veterinary technician program beginning next fall to push myself towards a career I've surrounded most of my life around. Now looking back at my job at Bonner Performance Horses, I've been able to push my knowledge outside the classroom and have accepted a full-time position with Josie. I will still be keeping up with the chores, but now I am having the opportunity to take on my own clients and horses. Right now, I have a leased mare named Rosie that I'm preparing and training for her very first show at the end of this summer. Because of this opportunity from Josie Bonner, I have been able to obtain a job that is making my education here at Northeast applicable in daily tasks and furthering my education into a career. Generosity from donors like yourselves and the organizations you represent offers more than just financial relief for us students. It is because of your scholarships, us students at Northeast are able to be included in these opportunities to grow our skills and to take full advantage of career advancements that may be placed in front of us for our time at college. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I missed it. It's okay, it happens all the time. Oh, it's not right. So, Callie, yes, thank you very much. Thank you so much, Callie. We look forward to seeing your success well after graduation, but we're excited that you're going to be part of the Vet Tech program next year as well. So our final speaker also is returning from NACDA, right? She's a recipient of the Walter Scott Jr. Career Pathway Scholarship. Walter Scott Jr. Career Pathway Scholarship is a program designed to support students pursuing high-skill, high-demand, and high-wage careers. Established through the generosity of Suzanne and Walter Scott Foundation, the scholarship reflects Walter Scott Jr.'s lifelong belief in the power of education to strengthen individuals, communities, and the workforce. The program provides full coverage of tuition, fees, housing, and meals for up to 4 consecutive semesters, along with career advising, leadership development, paid internship opportunities, and job placement support. Scott Pathway Scholars also participate in a unique living learning community and specialized success programming that prepares them for both college completion and career advancement. Through this investment, the Walter Scott Jr. Career Pathway Scholarship is creating those clear pathways from education to meaningful work. And I'm so excited to bring you from the inaugural class, Haley Wachter of Atkinson.
If you would have told me a few years ago that I'd be standing here today because somebody chose to invest in me before they even knew me, I would have called you crazy. The impact and gratitude I have for the Northeast Foundation and the Walter Scott Jr. Career Pathway Scholarship is something I can hardly put into words. My purpose today is to show how this scholarship has been a true blessing in my life, opening doors I once only prayed for, and express my deep gratitude for people who chose to invest in my future. My name is Haley Wachter. I grew up in central Iowa with my mom, dad, and sister. My parents were originally from Nebraska, so that is where all of our extended family lived. Growing up, family wasn't just important to me, it was my whole world. Part of that world was my next door neighbor, Grandma Janet. She wasn't related to me by blood, but because my grandparents lived so far away, she became one of the closest people in my life. When my family decided to move, she fell ill, and I lost her just a few months later. I was only in kindergarten, but in my young mind, I connected moving with losing somebody I loved. So during my senior year of high school, when my parents decided that they were going to move from Iowa to Nebraska, all those fears came rushing back. The reality of moving made me feel scared, lost, and completely unsure of what was ahead. I didn't know a single person, but everything changed the week before classes started when I moved onto campus for the summer bridge program. The moment I arrived, I felt something I hadn't expected, a sense of belonging. For the first time in a long time, I felt like I had a place, a community, and a people who were ready to welcome me in. Coming to Northeast was a big transition, but it was also the beginning of something I didn't know I needed. I walked onto campus hoping to just find my place, but instead I found a place full of people who welcomed me, encouraged me, and pushed me to grow. Through this scholarship, I was introduced to a community that felt like family. It connected me with students who share my love for agriculture, or advisors who genuinely care, and opportunities that have shaped me into the leader I'm becoming. What started off as financial support quickly became a support system, and that has made all the difference. Finding that sense of community gave me the confidence to step outside of my comfort zone, and that's where my leadership journey truly began. Once I felt supported, I started to see myself not just as a student trying to fit in, but somebody who could contribute, serve, and lead. Becoming a student ambassador, peer leader within the scholarship, and getting involved across campus weren't just activities, they were opportunities that helped me discover my strengths I didn't know I had. Each experience has pushed me to grow, to speak up, and to believe in the impacts I could make. Walter Scott Jr. stated that your best investment is a good education. Your best asset is your good health, and the best thing you can do is give back to your community. This has truly came to life for me through the C2A3 Aspire Leadership Program and my community service project with the Bancroft Rosalie FFA, where we prepared and served meals to local farmers during harvest. Feeding farmers wasn't just an act of service, it was a reminder of how deeply our communities rely on people who work every day to feed us. That experience has showed me what it truly means to invest in others, and it strengthened my desire to pursue a career in Iowa State University Extension and Outreach in Monona County in the 4-H program. I want to help young people grow, support rural families, and give back to my community. In many ways, this scholarship didn't just support my education, it guided me with purpose. As I've grown through these experiences, I've realized that leadership isn't about titles or positions, it's about people. It's about showing up, listening, and being willing to step in when others need support. Being a student ambassador and peer leader taught me how to connect with students who were just as nervous as I once was. I learned how to encourage them, how to help them find their place, and how to remind them that they belong here too. Those moments showed me that leadership isn't really about lifting each other's up. It's really about lifting others up the same way so many people have lifted me. This scholarship has also changed the way I see myself. Before coming to Northeast, I wasn't as confident in my abilities. I questioned whether I was capable, whether I was deserving, or whether I truly had something to offer. But being surrounded by people who believed in me, advisors, mentors, donors, and friends, helped me see strengths I didn't even know I had. It gave me the courage to dream bigger, to take on challenges, and to imagine a future where I could really make a difference. Looking ahead, I'm excited for the path I'm building. Working with the 4-H program has shown me how powerful youth development can be. I want to be the person who helps young people discover their passions, build confidence, and find opportunities they didn't know existed. I want to invest in others the same way the Foundation and Walter Scott Jr. has invested in me. And that is why the scholarship means so much. It didn't just help me get through school, it shaped who I am becoming. It taught me the value of investing in others and the importance of community and the responsibility we have to give back. Walter Scott Jr.'s words reminded me that education, health, and service are the foundation of a meaningful life, and I hope to carry those values with me wherever I go. To the Northeast Foundation and donors, the Suzanne and Walter Scott Foundation, and to everyone who continues to invest in students like me, thank you. Your generosity doesn't just change our education, it changes our confidence, our direction, and our future. My hope is to carry forward the values this scholarship has instilled in me, to work hard, to serve others, and to give back to our communities. I'm grateful and I'm excited for the opportunity to make a difference, just as you have made a difference in me and so many others. Thank you.
Wow, that was just amazing. I would like you all to give one more round of applause to those wonderful students. And it's now my honor to introduce my dear colleague, Dr. Tracy Cruzy, as she comes up to the stage. She is just an amazing human, and through her work with C2A3 and the work that she does nationally, she continues to be recognized as a leader in fundraising and development for community colleges. And so, Dr. Cruzy.
Okay, before we close, we'd like to share an opportunity for our supporters to make a lasting difference through becoming a benefactor or Founders Society member. A benefactor is a person who supports a cause, often through a monetary contribution. Most benefactors here today support scholarships, but they also help meet educational and workforce development needs through supporting capital projects, programmatic needs, and more. We thank those who believe that giving to the Northeast Community College Foundation is an investment in our community and our region. The future of Northeast is your future too. The future of our community, the future of our region. We are proud to have so many members of the Founders Society here with us today. Those are individuals who have included a bequest to Northeast in their estate planning. Unless they wish to remain anonymous, a red ribbon on their name badge indicates their membership. By becoming part of the Founders Society, you're not just creating opportunities for today's students, you're ensuring the path to success will remain open for students far into the future. Your contribution continues to touch lives long after you're gone, and it's a powerful way to create a lasting impact. There are countless ways to leave your mark, whether a bequest in your will, naming the college as a beneficiary of your IRA or an insurance policy. Anyone, regardless of income level, can participate in a planned gift. If you currently fund an annual scholarship, this could be a perfect moment to make it endowed, ensuring that your impact continues for generations to come. It's a meaningful way to create a legacy that might be difficult to achieve during your lifetime. If you're interested in learning more, we invite you to pick up a Wills Planning Guide at the donor check-in table. You can also scan the QR code on the back of the program to donate today. Our foundation staff is here and ready to start that conversation with you. We really do appreciate you being here today. Thank you for being an important part of our mission. Your generosity just doesn't change one life. It creates that ripple effect that impacts our entire community. And we truly are thankful for that momentum that each of you create. We've heard from amazing students today, and I know they're going to go on to do great things, and all of you have had a part in that, and we thank you for that. For those donors and scholarship representatives who are interested in those tours, we've got a tour from Clay, our new classroom building, and the iHub facility in downtown. Please meet at door 7. Those who are RSVP'd have the tour noted on their name tag, but you do not need to be registered to attend. If you'd like to go on that tour, please go to door 7 and you can take part in that. We have a shuttle bus available to take you there. Thank you for joining us today. When you leave, please put your name badges on the table, and we appreciate your time and travel safely. Thank you.